A couple months ago, I got into the best shape of my life at 61 years old. On this video, I'm going to tell you 3 rules that you need to follow in order for you to get into the best shape of your life. Coming up next. Hey everyone, this is Coach John Hansen, Natural Mr. Olympia, 3-time Natural Mr. Universe. On this video, I'm going to go over 3 rules to follow in order to get into the best shape of your life. In December of last year, I competed in my first contest in 8 years, and I was able to achieve one of the best conditions of my entire life. And I did it at 61 years old. And I really learned a lot about what it takes to get in shape past the age of 60. But the lessons that I learned allowed me to get into one of the most ripped conditions of my entire bodybuilding career. A lot of people believe you can't get into shape after the age of 40 or 50, or especially after the age of 60. But I proved it to myself that it is possible to get into outstanding condition as long as you do everything right with your training and with your nutrition. So there were 3 valuable lessons I learned in my journey to get into great condition at 61 years old. The first one that I could share with you is don't rush your progress. We've all seen these amazing transformation pictures where people completely change their bodies in only like 3 months' time. In fact, I just did a video last week about my client Craig, who lost 3 inches off his waist in the first month of working with me. However, what you have to realize is that everybody's different, and the body, especially when you get older and you're past 50 or 60 years old, it's different than it was when you were in your 20s. When I got into peak shape last year, it took me a full 6 months to get into that ripped condition. I started my diet in June, and it took me until December to get really ripped. You can see from this sheet here where I track my weekly progress that it took me a full 28 weeks of dieting in order to get ripped. So my first rule is don't rush your progress and don't get discouraged. This is going to take time to lose all this body fat to get really ripped. You can see I started my diet off weighing 212 pounds with a 36.5-inch waist. By the time I got to my contest, I was 190 pounds with my waist just under 33 inches. So why did it take so long to get into contest shape? Well, as you can see here, there were several periods during the dieting process when my body was just stuck and it reached a plateau and it wouldn't make any progress. I'm going to explain how I broke through this dieting process in a minute. But when you make the decision to get in shape, just understand at the beginning that this may be a long process. It's important to know this at the beginning of the diet so you don't give up and get frustrated. Otherwise, you'll never reach your goal. The second rule to follow is very important. Increase your workout intensity from week to week. Getting into a muscular lean condition is very difficult, and here's why. Not only do you have to bring your subcutaneous body fat down to very low levels, but you also have to retain or even grow your muscle tissue while you're doing this. Now you may ask, John, how do I build up muscle while I'm dieting to lose body fat? And the answer is you have to impose more stress on the muscle. The way you do this is you make your workouts progressive from week to week. Track your workouts by writing down how much weight you use and how many repetitions you do for every set. And then each week, make sure you do more than you did the week before. Either use more weight for the same amount of repetitions or use the same weight but do more repetitions. By progressively increasing the resistance on your workout, you are going to be demanding more from the muscles and they will have to grow even in a restricted caloric environment. This is where you got to be tough and have the willpower to push through your workouts. You don't want to back off your workouts and use lighter resistance, because what this will do is take the stress off the muscles, and when you're in a calorically restricted diet, your muscle tissue will shrink. One of the tools that I used during this dieting process to make sure that I was not losing muscle as I was losing body fat was I got an in-body scan once a month. The in-body scan will determine how much weight you have in muscle and how much weight you have in fat, and it will also determine what your body fat percentage is. You can see here during the last few months of my diet that I was able to maintain and sometimes even add muscle tissue while I was in a calorically restricted diet and while I was losing body fat. I was losing significant amounts of fat each month, but I was holding on to the muscle tissue, and this was all due to the intense workouts that I was putting myself through. So remember to make your workouts progressive as you're going through this fat loss phase. Use more weight or use more reps, but make the muscles work harder from week to week. Training easier and just adding more sets is only going to make you get overtrained, and it's going to put less stress on the muscle, not more. The third tip I want to share with you on how to get ripped past the age of 60 is how to overcome sticking points or plateaus in the dieting process. Your body is going to fight you as you get leaner and leaner. Once your body fat starts coming down more and more, your body's going to try to hold on to that body fat. You can follow the same calorically restricted diet you've been following. You can be doing the same amount of cardio. You can be doing the same workouts, and your body just won't respond. If you look at my progress here when I started my diet, I was losing 1/4 of an inch a week off my waist consistently week after week. I started off with a 36.5-inch waist, and I was making great progress for the first 3 months. However, once my waist got down to 34, I hit a sticking point. For 5 weeks, I saw no progress in my weight or my waist. I was not cheating on my diet. I was following the same amount of calories. I was doing the same progressive resistance workout routine. I was doing the same amount of cardio, and yet no progress. The way I overcame this sticking point was to introduce carb cycling into my routine. Carbohydrate cycling basically involves eating a lower amount of carbohydrates for a period of 3 to 5 days, and then bumping up your carbs to a higher than normal level for anywhere from 1 to 2 days. While you are lowering your carbs, your body is going to get depleted very quickly. Your normal workouts and your cardio program is going to start drawing on these limited amount of carbohydrates that you're ingesting, and before long, you're going to be in a carbohydrate depleted state. If you were to follow this carbohydrate depleted state for a longer period of time, you're probably going to end up losing muscle tissue because your body's not going to have enough fuel to get through your workouts. Your workout performance is going to suffer, and before long, you're going to start sacrificing muscle tissue. But by only following this depletion phase for a period of 3 to 5 days, and then having a higher than normal carbohydrate day, you'll not only restore your carbohydrate intake, but you'll also be boosting your metabolism overall. This boost in your metabolism is what's going to finally induce your body to start burning body fat again. Now, the carb cycling program is not easy to follow, especially when you're already low on body fat. However, it's a great tool to get past those dietary sticking points and get your body to respond again so you can start burning more body fat and get even leaner. As you can see on my chart, once I started introducing carbohydrate cycling, I went back to losing 1/4 of an inch a week. And to make sure that this worked, I even decided to double my cardio work during the depletion phase. Instead of doing my normal 30 minutes of cardio 5 days a week, I increased my cardio to 50 minutes a day, doing it twice a day. I got my stubborn metabolism to start moving again and was able to reduce my waist size even more. By the time I got to my competition, my waist was under 33 inches. So getting into ripped muscular shape is absolutely possible. I don't care what age you are. As long as you increase the intensity of your workouts, follow the correct macronutrients, give yourself enough time to get into shape, and use dietary techniques like carb cycling whenever you hit a sticking point, it is absolutely possible to get into ripped muscular condition even at 61 years old. Now, if you have any questions and you'd like to schedule a free consult with me, check out the link below, schedule a time, and we'll see if I can help you get into the best shape of your life. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends if you found it informative. Check out my website, johnhansenfitness.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.